Greetings and welcome to the Read to Inspire podcast. As the podcast, we want to inspire you, the viewer, to read more books and better. We believe that reading is the basic foundation for all the success you envision for yourself. We have a vision to see each and every African home with a bookshelf. And as long as that bookshelf is bigger than your television screen, we are happy. We also have a mission to promote the reading culture within the African continent and beyond. And today I'm truly and very excited to tell you that we have a guest that was with us for the longest of time in South Africa and now has joined or maybe has went for greener pastures in the United States of America, but we'll get to hear more from him. His name is Dongo. He is Mr. Automator. He is the business coach and speaker, of course. Please now allow me to welcome him on stage, Mr. Munya. Thank you for joining us and welcome to the Read to Inspire podcast.
Thank you, man. It's such a pleasure and always my pleasure, actually, I can actually say, to be here. I know, man, you are doing amazing stuff over there, and thank you so much for finding me, and thank you so much for also reading my book and say, okay, Munya, come, let's talk about this. Yeah, because like it's only people like you who can also kind of like amplify the message that we are trying to put up there, to put out there. So without you, man, then all of these listeners, they are not going to be there, and they're not going to be able to listen to whatever that we have to say. So I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you so much.
Awesome. And of course, we are here to speak about your book, No More Excuses for Me. I can't wait to dig deep into it. But first of all, I just wanted us to talk briefly about you as a person. Of course, that's one thing you spoke about briefly in the first chapter of your book, in terms of your background, your upbringing, and so forth and so forth. So as a way of an icebreaker question, please tell us, who is Munya? Maybe you can start with where you were born, your upbringing, your move to South Africa, and to where you are now in the United States.
Thank you so much for that question. Well, it is a question with a very long answer, but I'm going to actually like pick up the good part and put it aside and tell you, the remaining part, yeah, like those are the parts. So I was born and raised in Zimbabwe, and my parents, they separated while I was still very young. So I don't know how it feels like to get up in the morning and say, good morning, mommy, good morning, daddy, or in the same rounds. So that situation only, it then put I want to say a burden or a strain on my mom, but she had to work so hard for her to take care of all three of her children. So of course, I was the last born, so I was the mama's boy, So I was saying, everywhere where mommy goes, I go. And my brother and my sister, so they're staying in rural area with our granny. And then here I am in Harare, in the big league, with my mom. And at some point, she could be taken to go and work in Bulawayo. That's like another province, different language, different culture, like vendors and Zulu people, completely different. So, and then we got there, we learned, we actually stay there. I started going to school there, and then we will go again. Wherever she goes, I was going, So this also opened me to opportunities and possibilities that, and also an opportunity for me to learn to adapt so quickly, to adapt so quickly, because if I don't adapt and learn the local language, I learn the local culture, then I'm not going to fit in. So I'll be just that one kid who always want to be indoors of it. I'm not an indoor person. Hello, I'm not an indoor person. Yeah. So I was there. with her. Why am I telling you this? This is just like one build up that is also going to help us as we are going in this conversation. So here I am, like solely dependent on my mom. And then my mom decided to come to South Africa and then leaving me in Zim with my granny and with her young sister. And so I've lived with my granny, her young sister, her brother, and everybody. And then my dad, my stepmom, and all this. One thing, like in the first chapter, remember, it's titled "Grow Hungry."
Grow hungry.
So one thing that this is because remember I was staying with my mom. All right. So every time that I need anything, I just, mommy, I need this. So she was like an ATM machine, you know, a waiter. You just raise your hand, a waiter is going to come running, all right, without you even saying anything. You just go on an ATM, you put in whatever amount of money, and as long as there's money in the card, it's going to give you the money. That was my mom. So she used to do everything for me. We used to go to galas. We used to go and eating at the hotel. I know we were going to town every Saturday. And then I am now change of scenario. I'm not staying with other people. Yes, they had everything, but I can't ask them the same way I was asking my mom. Now it's becoming difficult. So I'll be like, okay, if I say I don't want this food, then and this person is not my mom, what is she gonna say? You know, and then now it then instilled the hungerness in myself of, okay, you know what, Manya, you need to always find a way of solving this problem so that you don't just ask. You need to find a way of having your own things so that you don't ask from anyone. And that was the start of my life. Yes, prior to that, remember, she used to spoil me and I didn't want to eat. Like, hello, even up to today, I still struggle to eat. You know, I still struggle to eat. So when she give me food, I used to go to school and sell it to other people who have got the mouth and the stomach to put that food in. And I used to sell it and keep the money. I used to sell eyes, you know. So I had all these other skills that I developed from my grade 1, grade 2, to grade 3. So when I was now in a situation where I didn't have to depend on somebody else, well, I love the technology as well. So I love the phone. Because she used to expose me to everything, Zimbo. You know, she's going to everything. Is the era of the introduction of the phones. The grannies, they have no idea where to go, and I am charging them $1. You know, I've been charging people and doing and keeping the money, and there we go, a grade 5 year, I mean, a grade 6 year old guy, a child who is fixing people's phones and charging them. That's how growing hungry. That chapter came in existence. But I just grew up and I wanted to be self-dependent, and I also wanted to know what's out there. Well, I don't have this, but how does it feel to have? So I was just like, I always wanted to have that. Yeah. So over to you. This is like growing hungry.
Growing hungry. Okay, you have answered my question partly because you didn't tell us more about your journey in South Africa to where you are now, but no worries. We'll talk about that in a minute. I just want us to... We'll get there. We'll get there, definitely. Munya, in your second chapter of your book, you titled this very interesting, the title of that chapter, Do I Deserve This? After reading that, I knew there's some kind of struggles or challenges coming. And of course, you spoke about your stammering challenges. And it sounded to me as I was reading your book is that you are not born like that, like with stammering problems. Do you still remember, or do you remember perhaps how old were you when that challenge happened, and how did it make you feel as you were growing up?
Well, I didn't just get up in the morning stammering, but it started as a habit, I can say. Remember, remember. So this actually started by the time I was still with my mom. I had questions that I didn't know how to ask, and that I didn't find answers for. And I didn't have anyone to ask. But all of my friends, they have their daddies and their mummies, they've got big screen TVs, color TV. Huh? In 2004, a color TV. What? That is big. They had what they call the satellite dish. By that time, it was, I'm forgetting the name of the brand that was there. I'm like, what? They are watching BBC? What's that? So at some point, I started now to have like questions so what happened? Yeah, I've been with my dad some time back for a year, and then I saw him in court. By that time, we went to court when my mom was fighting for the custody. And then I saw him there in court, like just a glimpse of him, simply because like these people were fighting, these people were fighting and bad-mouthing each other whatever time that I am with each other, with whatever that I am with either of them. Your mom is this, your mom is this, your dad is this, your dad is this. So I had so many questions that I couldn't understand what was happening, and it actually led more into depression and anxiety. But as a Black child, we don't have depression and anxiety, it's a white problem, it's a white problem. So I suffered with depression and anxiety as a very young kid. And I used to love singing, and I used to find joy in singing at church. I used to find like I just wanted to be seen, to be valued, and I just wanted to have some sense of control, because when I am talking, I am the one who is speaking. So you have to listen to me. So I am in charge during that time. So I always wanted that. Because I didn't have all of these things. I had all these questions that I didn't know who to answer and who to ask. So I wanted now to create my own platform where I can always shine, and either so that maybe I was not worth loving, maybe I was not worth have both parents. So let me then create my own worthiness, let me create that. So that was like in around grade 3, grade 4, that when I started to notice some changes. But it wasn't that serious. Then remember, I am growing, and mommy now came to South Africa. I'm now with my granny, and oh boy, it just hit. I am in the rural area, and all of other kids of all of my mom's family, they are staying with their mummies and daddies in town, in Harare, in Kariba, in Bulawayo, in Beitbridge, everywhere, and they only come to rural area once a year, or even during holidays. When they are there, they are being loved because they were not there. And I was there with Granny, all right? We are the one who've been taking care of everything, but I feel like I'm not seen when these people are here, so I'm not seen when these other kids are, so I am still craving that love. And then the doubts start coming. no, you are not worth it. No, shut up. You are not worth it. You are not worth loving. You're like, and I am this young, and then it just hit me again. So at a certain time that I used to do funny things. I used to do funny things that other people thought I was like going crazy, but I wasn't going crazy. I knew what I was doing, but I was not being heard. I didn't have the platform to actually talk and say and speak out. I didn't have anybody advocating for me, and yet I loved talking. So this then like I put a huge load on my shoulder that I couldn't bear, that I couldn't carry anymore, and I just crashed. I remember at some point, well, this is like the very first time I am saying this on your show, like the very first time I am speaking about what I'm about to say. I just remember the very first time. Well, I cannot talk about this now because I have healed, I have healed. So I cannot talk about it. So I remember that day, we went to head cattle, and I was there with my sister and some other cousins and some other community kids that are all of our relatives. And then we fought. We fought and fought and fought. And then this guy shouted at me, and then I said something that was so family provocative. And then, oh my goodness, it just like on me. I had some suicidal thoughts by that time. I wanted to just go and say that, you know what? I don't think this is worth, And by that time, I think I was like grade 5 or grade 6, I can't remember. And I was like, you know what? I don't think this is it. I might as well just go. But like, you know what? And some other thought was like, you know what? Let me go and show him. I'm gonna go and show him that, you know what, that you might think of this, might think of, but I'm actually living a better life. Well, I really didn't struggle by the time I was saying on my mom's side. I really didn't struggle who could sleep without eating. Well, ever in my life, I didn't struggle with that. I didn't have that kind of a struggle, but the struggle that I had was craving for love, craving to be seen, craving, and that contributed to my stammering, to so many things happening in me. I still remember I used to just nod on myself, like nod, or on myself. I just said, because I felt like there's something I am being suppressed, I am being suppressed, but I want to be free. I just want to talk. I just want to shout and say something, and that contributed to me stammering. And then fast forward to when I was now in South Africa, when I was now like trying to pursue my speaking career. Remember, these things happened back there in grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. But it's still haunting me up to today, And then I was there trying to jump in my business, trying to speak and be heard. And then because I couldn't take like criticism, like I used to take criticism so personally, especially if it is coming to somebody that I am not close to. I didn't like that, because I felt so much suppressed, and I felt so much disrespected and not heard, because of my upbringing. So if you are not in my closest book, then don't even do that. Give me criticism, but package it well. Don't give it direct. So there were some other people who were giving it like directly to me, like right in front of me, and it caused me to crash. And I remember this other guy, one day he actually he had the audacity, and the energy to get up in the morning, go on his WhatsApp, click voice note, and sent me almost a 3-minute voice note. You know what, Munya? Your English is bad. Your voice is so boring to listen. You are not worthy of being a speaker. So, man, you know what? This is for us. I'm gonna call this guy Teddy. This is for us. But in the book, I think he's called Spencer. He was like, this is for this is for us. You know, I've got a degree of what, you know, I've been in this industry for a long time. I have done this, I have done that. At first, I listened to it, I crashed. Then I'm like, you know what? Let me show this guy. You know, so my survival mode just came because I said to myself, it's either I take this and use it to destroy me or use this as my fuel. And then, you know what? I listened to his criticism. This was more than a criticism, but it was like a way of destroying my career. I listened to it. I'm going to play this every morning, every day for the rest of my life. And then just to motivate myself. Guess what? I started doing that. 2 months later, I published. 2 months later, I organized an event and then I published it out there. Then guess what? People came in. It was 80% white and just 20% blacks and Muslims. I made money for the first time talking out of the company that I was being a trainer, because I was in network marketing with a company called Greenwald. That's where I became a training manager. So this guy was fighting, you know, so he was fighting for my position of being a training manager, because he couldn't do anything without my approval. He couldn't do anything without my signature. So he was trying to fight that. And I'm like, you know what? Let me leave this. After all, I feel like I am capped. I feel like I have reached the ceiling. Being with 5 provinces under me, going and training people, going on a 20-day tour across South Africa, fully paid for by the company, living in a 5-star hotel. After earning as well, I reached the ceiling. It's time now for me to go, making sure that he can see what if I were to listen to that and just crumble and just shrink and die. Let me tell you one thing. Today, I was not going to be where I am now. Remember, you asked me, told me this. I was not going to be able to share this stage with Les Brown if I invited by an international company in the US to come and speak to 6,500 people. Wow. Who this kid, you know, who this kid who have been stammering and whatsoever. I was not going to be able to do that if I were to listen to that. So the chapter say, do I deserve this? Yes, I did deserve that. I deserved that, to be told all those things, because it was there to to purify me, to prepare me for where I am. Dude, put me in any situation right now. I can survive. I'm a Gindagoria, you know, I can go and be anywhere, my guy. Put me where in Eastern Cape, deep in the rural area, I can survive. Put me in the deep rural area, in any other place, I can survive because of those things that I went through. I have lived it all. I had that tough life, but I know I can do. Like right now, it was preparing me to be who I am right now.
I get you. Those things you went through made you the person that you are today, this global phenomenon. Just one last question. I just need clarity. I'm going to try to summarize something that I was looking forward to hear in that question. Then we'll move to the next question.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
As you were answering that question, I got a sense that probably you might also mean stammering could be caused by mental health problems. You talk about depression and anxiety. So could that be one of the causes? And maybe as you're doing your research about this challenge that you have, what are some of the causes of stammering? And if there's any other way of resolving that conflict, what could be that if you have done research on that part?
Oh, yes. Great question. Thank you. Well, let me just not say stammering alone, but any other thing that is not normal, and it's not high blood pressure, diabetes, or your bone problem that you might develop along the way. It might be mental illness. So your mental illness, well, what I would want you to do is look for some triggers. Dude, I used to be, whenever that I am stressed, I used to stammer a lot. So that was like one of my triggers. Stress, the feeling of an uncertainty, and like not feeling safe, it used to trigger all those things. And oh boy, this guy, he's an entrepreneur. So as an entrepreneur, you are stressed every time. That is like one thing. You are stressed every time. So I used to struggle with that. And then one lady said, you know what, Munya, I think I see what's happening. Tell me about your background. And then I told her. She said, oh, I know what's happening. Is that boy who is not still feeling safe. That 5 year, 6 year, 7 year old Munya is not feeling safe even up to today. He haven't resolved all those issues that are out there. Well, it might sound stupid that, okay, that Munya doesn't live to today, but guess what? He is still living today. He's still here in me. So how did I actually start dealing with this? Well, I had to go back, confront myself that very time. So I had now to trace and see, when did this start happening, right? When did this start? When did this happen? All right. What happened? And then I identified that, okay, this happened then and then. So I just had now to go back and say, you know what? It is okay. You are safe. Look what you have done. I started going through all of my achievements. I started going through everything that I have done and see, okay, you have done this. So mental illness, it is one of the biggest cause of most of the diseases that just come apart from the genetics and those that you can get because of your diet. So look at your mental illness. Depression, anxiety, it is one of the things as well.
Thank you so much, Munya, for explaining the causes of this challenge that you have had growing up. And I think it will help a lot for people who may be going through or maybe experiencing the same challenge. They know now at least what they need to do moving forward. And I want us now to talk about maybe chapter 3 and 4 of your book. Obviously, the book is titled No More Excuses for Me. Chapter 3 is titled Don't Go Through It, but Grow Through It. I read it the other way around, but in essence, that's what that chapter means. Then in the next chapter, you talk about the types of excuses. So let's combine those chapters. And what I'm interested in first and foremost is, what are excuses and what are these type of excuses that people make most of the time that hold them back in terms of their progress in life?
Well, man, what are excuses? I can say an excuse is anything that is going to stop you from doing whatever that you want to do. So an excuse is like a bondage. So you are going there and say, okay, this is something that, and guess what? The bondage is not coming to you, but you are going to the bondage. We are going into the bondage. Say, okay, slave me. I am here. Slave me. Because in my own opinion, no excuse is valid. No excuse is valid unless if you make it valid. So that's why I said, you are the only person who is going to say, okay, you know what? You are here. I'm going to make you as my excuse. But that is not an excuse. In chapter 3, I say grow through it, because so many people, we win, we fail. We win, I don't want to say fail, but we learn. So our life is like a heartbeat at a hospital. It should go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. If your life is just going on a straight line, then you are a dead person. All right. So I went through some challenges. So is many of you. Imagine this 21-year-old kid earning 20 to 30,000 each and every month. He's enjoying life. He's loving it. Life is good. He's driving. He's living in a nice house. He's having everything that any kid could actually wish for, of which I have worked for it actually. So I was enjoying my work. Then I made one simple, stupid mistake in business of hiring without having to actually, like, the main reason of why am I hiring? Is this the right person? I just wanted to hire for the sake of, okay, I am the boss, I make money, so I can't just do everything for the sake, so I hired, and then I hired wrong people. And then these wrong people, there were so many things that actually happened there that took me from earning, well, I can't go into detail, but that actually took me from earning 20, 30,000 each and every month to go into actually 150,000 rand in debt. And then when that happened, I felt like the world was crumbling. The world was like falling on top of me. I didn't know what to do. And then I had to rethink and say, Munya, is this what I want to do? Is this what you want to do or what? Then I had to change that one up. You can read the book to get more into detail. So I had now to change my mindset and redefine who I wanted. Then I grew. When I grew, oh boy, everything changed. Everything changed. My mindset. And I started growing into so many more other possibilities in a world of so many possibilities. And that's when I started to grow to my own speaking career in my own business. Now, so why do we make excuses? Why did I actually have to include that, to include that in the book? Why do we make excuses? Well, man, I could have just said, I'm a stammer. I don't have high education. I can't believe I am speaking with a doctor, Dr. Mgalothe, I can't believe this. I could have said that I am young, I'm black. Well, as much as black, it is a great advantage to us. Some people, they use that as a disadvantage, especially in my industry. All right. Now they say, I'm young, I'm black, I don't have education, my English is bad, I don't have support, and I have failed in business. I'm a stammerer, like I stutter so badly. So, and I don't have much success because look, I just lost this business and now I am in debt. Well, I could have lived in that shameful moment and stay there. But all these things, as much as they were screaming for me to not, I chose to listen to another scream that was saying, do and get out of this. You know who you are. You are God's favorite. You know who you are. You are wonderfully and fearfully made. You know who you are. You are a great person. So listen to what you need to do. Like, just get up and start to do something right now. And that's what I did. And then I started to do that. So why do we make excuses? Well, we just make excuses because we want to feel good about ourselves, or we want to hide from the world, or we just want to not to do something. We just want to justify our laziness. We just want to justify we just want to justify our poverty. We just want to justify our current status. That's why we make excuses, so that, well, if they say, why are you not rich? Well, as you, for example, I'm just gonna give this example because I have listened to you speaking every time. You might say, I am coming from Eastern Cape. We never spoke any English word there, just like this. But look where you are. You could have used that as your excuse. You could have used that as your excuse and just like, okay, I want to get away with this. So this is why people really make excuses. And it's not healthy. It's not healthy at all.
Mm. Yeah, I see. And in the book, you go in details to explain the different types of excuses.
Yeah.
But what I want to ask you, which caught my heart, my attention, and I was more interested because even today, I still make excuses. In your book, you talk about the different steps that one can take in order to stop making excuses. Can you take us through maybe to two of those that you believe they can change someone's life for the better?
Well, I get this question every time. Munya, since you wrote the book No More Excuses for Me, does that mean that you don't make excuses anymore? Hell no. I make them every time. But guess what? I embrace them. I embrace them. Like, I see you. Okay, I see you. I see you. I see you. So one greatest step that all of the other 16 steps that are in the book, all right, they are all important. But only when you deal with this step that I'm going to give you. This is like your foundational. This is like your prerequisite. Before you do anything, you should start here.
Okay.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge that, okay, this is an excuse that I'm making. Is this an excuse or an excuse? There's not another way out of that. Is this an excuse or an excuse? No other way around it. You know, because you can't have an excuse and a challenge or whatever. Because I can't find anything else that you can use that is not an excuse. Any situation that you are in, any background, anything, you know, that you may use to justify you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, is just an excuse. It's just an excuse. Let me try and put it this way. Okay. You might say, you know what? Well, my business is not doing well because I have load shedding. Well, yeah, you have load shedding. Isn't there another possibility? Isn't there another alternative way? Wasn't there another alternative? What other things that you could have done to prevent that load shedding? Well, this load shedding didn't come to today. We've been having this for the past 4 years, 5 years. So are you telling me that for the past 4 years, 5 years, you never foresee that we are going to be staying for 6 months in stage 6? You see? So what could have you done? What other measures were you supposed to put in place that could have prevented your business loss that you're currently having right now? So do you think load shedding is still a justifiable way of making a loss in business? No, it's now an excuse. All right. Rand it's going down. Well, what can you do? Can't you increase your prices? All right. So what excuse can you give me? I have kids, so I can't do this. Well, use those kids not as an excuse, but as your why. I must do whatever that I can do so that I can make sure that my children won't live the way I actually grew up. All right. What is it? I'm not educated enough. Well, use that as your motivation. Work hard so that you achieve hard. But you can say, hey, it's not about education. You can do and be anything you want with or without education, but education, it is very important. But if you are not privileged enough to have that kind of education, well, you can still make it in life. All right. So what other excuse can you give me? I'm too young to be in business. Hey, I've been in business full-time at the age of 18. Well, I used it. So succeed so much so that you can say, hey, if I did this, as a young person? What about you as an old person? You have so much experience, but I didn't have any experience. So do it. If you say, oh, I am young, well, this is your greatest advantage because you're still young. Go out there, make as much mistakes. You still have got a whole life in front of you. All right. Remember, I made the mistake that made me to go in 150,000 rands in debt at the age of 22. Man, I'm 26 now. I'm turning 27. So I had all these years of me growing and using that, like, and becoming better. So I still have got all these other years again that I have to come. So don't be afraid. Don't be scared as a young person to go and get as much opportunities that you can have, that can come your way. Grab them. If they don't work, well, you learn and go. You learn and go. And then if they work, woohoo, that's your stepping stone. If they don't work, it's okay. So what is in it that you can use as an excuse? Because, brother, I don't see anything. I don't see, that's why I say no excuse is valid, because there is no excuse valid that is valid.
The acknowledge part, I think that's the key step, because before you identify, let's say, your favorite excuse, it's very important to acknowledge. Sometimes those excuses, are just problems. Before you can solve a problem, come with a solution, acknowledge first that you have a problem. And then now, when you admit that you have this problem, you acknowledge the problem, it becomes easier to look for different steps in solving that particular problem that you have. So thank you for pointing that out. Obviously, other steps that one can do in order to overcome their excuses, they can read more of them in the book. I want us now to venture into your entrepreneurial journey. Obviously, you're a business coach. I want to find out from you what inspired you to go into business. Maybe you can take us through your first business in primary school as you were selling ice, and maybe moving forward to whatever you are, or let's say, to be specific, to where you are now as a 26-year-old to 27 in the United States. What is the core of your business right now?
Well, man, to answer your first question of what inspired you to be in business, man, I love my freedom. I am one unemployable guy. You employ me now, I'll be running your company and yourself within the next 2 hours. I have been employed in Johannesburg when I was doing my diploma in business admin and secretarial procedures. Well, it was supposed to be a 6 months contract, but I only worked there for 2 months, and then I left. Wow. I didn't like it. And then in Cape Town, I went there. I was looking, this fresh guy wanting to actually start to do this, and then I got employed by this other guy there to do marketing. Well, in the interview, I had office, but during the job description, they said I'm a field agent. I'm like, I'm not going to sign up for this, and I don't like it. So I only worked there for a week, and then I left. I didn't even resign. Wow. I left. Maybe they are still waiting for my resignation letter. I don't know, but I haven't resigned, up to today. So I am one guy who knows what I want, and I don't like to compromise what I want. Then one thing that I want is my freedom. I love my freedom. I want to do and be wherever and just do whatever that I want at whatever time without having to ask. That is me. So the only option for me to do that was to jump into entrepreneurship, which I have messed up and come up also on top. Then what caused me to start jumping into business coaching, helping other businesses, is it took me longer than it was supposed to be for me to break through. For me to start getting my breakthrough, it took me longer. And when I looked back, I saw there were thousands, millions of other people still going through the same problem. And I was like, okay, let me do something. Well, I have gone through all of the stages that they're actually going through. So right now, let me do something. So how can I do that? By coaching them, training them, showing them the skills that I have, the skills that actually helped me to be where I am now. And one thing that I always talk about is that I don't teach good stuff. That is me. If you come to me wanting to hear some deep vocabulary, some theories of who and who, you're not gonna find that here. I teach simple things that I apply every day. So things that are making me thousands of dollars, those are the same very same things. Okay, all right. Those are just like the same things that I teach to people each and every day. So if I try this type of marketing and then it worked for me, I come and teach my students. You know what, guys? This is what I have been testing, and then it will be, here is where I failed, here is what I succeeded. So do it this way, don't do it that way. And then it works. That's why I managed to actually grow my business to over 35 countries, simply because I teach what I do. I don't teach what I've heard or what I have read somewhere, and which also differentiate me from all these other speakers and all these other coaches who are doing everything by the book, by learning. They go and then start, and then they'll come and teach you that, of which I don't do that.
Okay, I see. Now that brings me, I want you to answer this question specifically. You spoke about it briefly in terms of business. I want to know, what do you do in your business? Like, maybe let's focus on that part. And where you are now, how is your business doing?
Great. So I do business coaching and automation coaching. So automation coaching is, I help people build their own businesses online. So if you are a coach, speaker, consultant, trainer, experts, you have experience in anything, all right? There is somebody who also want to know, how did you get that experience? So I then show you how you can teach other people, how you can tell them your experience and let them pay you, just like that. So you are you are an author already. Well done for compiling that book, but that book need now to go globally. You know, it now need to go globally. You now need also to teach what is there as well, so that other people can be able to. So what I do, I help people. I actually build businesses. I work with corporates, and I also work like with individuals. So corporates, I train their sales and marketing and customer care departments. That's like my specialty, and their branding. And then individuals, I do one-on-one coaching on business, networking, coaching. Yeah.
I see. In the beginning, we promised that we will come back to where you are now in the United States. Yes. Also in relation to your business, I believe you made that move in order to grow your business. I might be wrong. This is an assumption. Where are you in the States? And in terms of your business, I believe, in my own understanding of the business that you run, you can basically operate the business wherever you are in the country. You have clients in over 35 countries, as you've just said. But why the move to the United States, if I may ask? And also, how are things going at this stage in your life as you are there? And how are things? Is the move contributing to your business? Is it doing better? Or like, you can just take us through all of that?
All right, great. Great question. Why the move? Somebody asked me that again yesterday. Say, Munya, can you tell me the life in South Africa? And then I was telling them, with $1,000 a monthly income, you can live a decent, amazing life, because that's like 20,000 rand each and every month. They're like, really? So why the move here? I'm like, you know what? And also, just for the listeners, guys, I thought I had money until I landed. Understand? I thought I was loaded. I landed, and I was like, holy moly, I need to make money here. So why the move? most of my coaches, they are all from here. Yes, they've been helping me while I was there. But I would really, I'm at a position in my life and my business where I want to scale and explode. Yeah, watch the place. The space. So I am at a position where I don't know how to do whatever that I need to do, and the people who can show me to do that, they are all here. And I didn't want to do this via Zoom. I wanted them to be there, holding my hand, say, Munya, let's do this. So that is like one main thing. So I am here to grow, expand, and scale to where I need to be. So the dream is very big and very scary, but it is amazing as well. So that's why that is what motivated me to be here. And also, man, being here and charging these people $1,000 for, they can pay it as they are paying 100 Rand. So what's not to love about that? What not to like about that? You see? Because they're actually used to that, so that's like one thing that also like motivated me to be here. So right now I am in California, but I'm gonna move to go to Florida, but I still haven't decided which state am I gonna make my permanent residence. Like this is where I can call home. I can go anywhere and still come back home. So right now I am still gonna be living in between California and Florida. But everything is still doing great. We had our amazing, fantastic event, the BNC organized event in Los Angeles last week, to those who are watching this right now. So it was on the 10th of June. It was amazing. So that's what I am doing, but I am not abandoning my South African clients. I work so hard nowadays. I think I am sleeping 4 hours a day so that I can be able to work in both time zones. It's now like 10 hours different. Because of the daylight. So I think it is that time in my career where I am working very hard. Like I am starting afresh. Here, I'm like, Munya, you are starting afresh. Nobody here. So you start afresh. So the hustling mode, it is like at the highest note. So that's where I am now, which is just like no more excuses. So there's always a next step. There's always a next step in life. Well, in South Africa, I was now kind of like also feeling like kept again. Like, okay, I've arrived. I have done almost everything. I have clients everywhere. I'm earning. I'm actually earning each and every month. I am taking care of my family. I'm driving. I'm living in a house of my dreams and everything. But what's next in my life? Yeah. So this was like the next chapter in my life. Yeah.
That's great, man. Congratulations on that big move and also on your success in terms of your business. In terms of my questions in relation to your book and your business, I think I've come to an end, but I'm sure you might have something maybe we have left out from the book you might have wanted to share, even from your business, before I ask maybe 2 or 3 more questions that are unrelated to the book. Is there anything you feel like is really important that the listener would want to take away as a motivation to buy the book?
Yes, yeah. So let me just give you in 2 minutes, 3 steps or so that you can actually implement. Yes, I know I talk a lot, and I have I actually might have said this, but let me just summarize them. All right. Your past doesn't define who you are, but it prepares you for who you can be. All right. So let's shedding. So your past doesn't define who you are, but it can prepare you for who you can be. All right. Yeah. That's first. Second thing is acknowledge who you are and love yourself. I used to hate my voice. I used to hate myself. And one thing that was surprising is that every time that, as much as I hated myself, when I do an event, people attend. When I upsell them to something, they were buying, and what are they buying? What are they buying? But I wasn't gonna buy me because of the way I was talking. So love yourself because of like the way you are. You are a perfect package as you are. Don't try to be somebody else, because just be yourself, because everybody else is taken. All right. So just be yourself, because everybody else is taken. And because when you find out who you are, then who you can be becomes very easy. You can become unstoppable, and no excuse will be valid in your life. So just be who you are. Don't try to be anyone else. I don't try to be you. I love being me, because I can shine, because I don't have any competition when I am being me. But when I'm trying to be Zimbo, then I'm going to try to imitate him. I'm going to try to do this and that. Then I'll lose it. I'll lose myself. So these are the greatest lessons that I hope and wish I actually learned this 7 years back. I've learned this 24 years back, because this was going to help me. By now, I'm supposed to be a multi-billionaire because of the amount of effort and what I do and what I can be, because I know myself. So just be yourself, and embrace whatever situation that you are into. Get some lessons, get whatever that you need to learn from there, and apply it in your life, and forget the rest. Okay. And just go like that. Yeah. So this is like some of the things that I like in summary, what I can just give somebody. Yeah,
bro.
And in my business, yeah. Sorry, and let me just give them something for free as well. So I want to give you something free just because you are here. Now, if you are to go to bncinda.com/goals, I have prepared a course, and I've opened that course to everybody just because they are in here, that they are watching this interview. So just go to bncinda.com/goals. You're going to get a 9-video goal setting course that is going to challenge your mindset as well. And it talks about excuses also.
Brilliant. That is amazing, man. Thank you so much. I'm grateful for that. I will make sure when I post the video, the link is going to be shared there so that they know exactly where to click. And I feel very motivated about the knowledge that you have shared, the wisdom. I will try and execute that as well and use it as a reminder for me not to make excuses anymore moving forward. And for you as well, I mean, you are close to your dream. I love the fact that you are a big dreamer. Even though you are not a multi-millionaire now, but it's coming. It's coming. That I know for sure.
Yeah.
Even to be a billionaire for you, I think it's within your reach. Knowing the person that you are and the hustling spirit that you have, you are close to your dream. I mean, you haven't even reached 30, yet you are already speaking like this. Yeah. So I wish you all the best, my brother. And then I will be here to cheer for you when you reach that billionaire status. Please invite me to celebrate with you in the States if you'll be there by then. But yes, thank you, Munya, for the great interview. Now I have one last question I would like to ask you that is unrelated to the book or your business. Is basically more about reading. I see your eyes. It's about reading. Right. So tell us about 2 or 3 book titles that have made probably a significant impact into your life and probably shaped the way you see the world or change your perspective in terms of running a business or becoming a successful person.
Great. Just a disclaimer, I'm not the best reader. So, well, it takes me time to read books, but I love it. The books that I've read cover to cover that helped me in my life and change everything. First of all, it's Mind Power by John Kehoe. Robin Banks in South Africa, he also teaches that. Mind Power by John Kehoe. Then I also read Who Moved My Cheese, but Who Moved My Cheese impacted me, especially in my network marketing business. And then when I was now taking my life to the next level, I read The Science of Getting Rich and Think and Grow Rich. By the time I was studying with my dearly departed coach, Mr. Bob Proctor, so he exposed me to Think and Grow Rich and The Science of Getting Rich. Oh my goodness, those books did so well, and no more excuses for me. This book did a lot for me in my life. So this book did everything. Because as much as I'm not the word best reader, I can say those are some of the books that actually did a lot in my life.
All right. Thank you so much, my brother. Again, I wish you all the best in your business ventures. And I'm looking forward to see what is your next step in your career. Thank you so much for honoring the invite.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.